I am Nikki Gray. I'm the Executive Director with the Community Foundation of Medicine Hat in Southeastern Alberta. We are thrilled to have the opportunity to celebrate our donors and Heritage Club members who continue to have incredible impact across Southeast Alberta. Just a few housekeeping items. If you've noticed our friend David with Rogers TV at the back of the room, who will be filming the stage, just the stage for the speaking portions of the event. If you have an issue with any of this, please let us know. Just let me know on the side. And we'll ask him to turn off the camera for that time. The washrooms are out these doors, to your right and down the hallway. Women to the left, men to the right. And if there is an emergency, the exit is through this door, that door. And please note, you should have received a red and white drink ticket that gets you a drink at the bar. Waters do not require a ticket. And if you don't have one, hunt down Bob or Helen. And if you already had one, just leave them alone. We don't have any more. But before we get started with the rest of the program, I'd like to welcome up Board Chair Kyle Pudwell.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming. Welcome to the Community Foundation of Medicine Hat and Southeastern Alberta's 2023 Heritage Club reception. I'm happy to introduce Nikki Gray, Executive Director, Bailey Richardson, Administrative Coordinator, Barbara Kenworthy, Financial Administrator, Lauren Friesen, Vital Signs Research and Project Coordinator, Nicole Nichols, Community Fund Coordinator, Sydney Ratzlaff, Community Engagement Coordinator, and Helen Nicholson, Regional Development Coordinator. Now at this time, I'd like to acknowledge the board members in attendance. If I could please ask the Community Foundation board members to please stand when I call their names. Francis Barnes, Julie Friesen, Matthew Lofgren, Jim MacArthur, Doug Little, and Dan Kammerer. Thank you all very much for coming. One of the focus areas for the Community Foundation is to encourage partnerships. This evening would not be possible without the generous support of our partner and sponsor, the MacPhail-Sherwick Wealth Advisory Group with National Bank Financial. Please join me in welcoming Connolly Sherwick to say a few words.
Wow. The curtain has lifted. Well, hello, everyone. Yes, I'm Connolly Sherwick from National Bank Financial, and just want to say welcome to everyone and kind of give you a little bit of an idea that National Bank Financial is the investment arm of the National Bank of Canada. We're about the 5th largest in full-service investment firm in Canada, and we're focusing in on getting higher than that, absolutely. Joining me today, I've got a few members of my team at the back. We have Lynn Durbanek, Louise Mew, Hannah Miner. So thank you to them for coming. My business partner Calvin could not be here tonight, but he sends his best wishes to everyone. So tonight's audience is a group of my favorite people as members and prospective members of the Heritage Club. Thank you for being long-term thinkers, generous donors, and having a lasting legacy on our community. So I made a couple assumptions about the people in the room tonight. I'm guessing everyone here does their darndest to buy everything they need locally wherever possible. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. I'm also guessing that you're either delighted that your children or grandchildren are living here, or you're really hoping opportunities will open up so they can find their way back to Medicine Hat. I'm not in this situation yet, but I'm with you. I too want them to stay or the others to come back. Our great city needs these young people, not only for their skills and talents, but because they make our community more vibrant, and by spending their money here, they're going to grow their own roots here. And it's kind of a pet peeve of mine when I learn about people who moved here because it's cheap and they sold out of an expensive real estate market, and basically they're going to buy a house and then live very miserly off their surplus funds. That kind of gets me. I understand it. It's not terrible logic on their part, and it does benefit a few businesses in town, but it's just not the same as young people moving here to pursue careers and businesses and raise families. I think that those young people are going to be the people sitting in your chairs in the future because they've come here for the right reasons. It won't be the people who are living here because it's cheap. I like to think of myself as that person who moved here 20 years ago to pursue a career and raise a family. I too spend my money locally wherever possible, and in the future, I hope to be sitting in your chairs as a member of the Heritage Club and watch someone else from my team give this welcome. And now you're probably thinking, Connolly, are you running for office in 2025? No, I'm not. The farthest thing from it. But what I am doing is I'm advocating for things to be local. And that's where the advisor-managed funds through the Community Foundation have really, really hit the mark. Becoming a Heritage Club member or making an annual donation or contribution is spectacular. But unless you're specifically directing that gift to be managed by a local advisor, then, at present, your funds are going to leave the community and will lose the wonderful compounding effect that keeping those investments local contributes to. So by directing your gifts to be managed locally, you'll be supporting folks like myself, like my team. Like you, we spend our money locally and we support our friends and neighbors. Keeping your investments local allows us to proudly sponsor events just like this and to make our own gifts to the Community Foundation on an annual basis. So when you're considering your future and current gifts, I'd ask you to please consider asking the Foundation to keep the investments local and use a local advisor. In closing, I'd like to give a special thank you to all the dedicated board members and staff members of the Foundation, especially those that work with our team on a regular basis. You're an absolute pleasure to work with, and we look forward to continuing to grow our advisor-managed funds. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and thank you again for being here.
Connolly gave a little preview of the advisor-managed endowment funds. Thanks, Connolly. Thank you to your entire team with the McPhail-Sherwick Wealth Advisory Group. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'd like to take a brief moment to provide an update on the past year at the Foundation. For those who are not aware, the Foundation is one of 205 community foundations across the country. We work closely with this large network to build endowments for the betterment of the communities that we serve. Our mission at CFSCA is to make meaningful connections between donors and local charities for the permanent benefit of Southeastern Alberta. We focus on 3 pillars. We grow, we give, and we inspire. We grow by building permanent endowments. Every donation made to the Community Foundation is never spent, it's invested, which takes us to the We Give pillar. We do this by distributing investment earnings to charities across the region. And we inspire by connecting issues, convening partnerships, and helping to develop community-based solutions. This past year, the Foundation distributed just over $1.1 million to 119 charities across Southeast Alberta and received just shy of $800,000 in donations. We launched an endowment building toolkit to support organizations this past year to establish and grow their own endowment fund with their closest geographical community foundation within Alberta. And this time next month, we will be launching the 2023 Vital Signs Report, which will highlight some of the greatest needs and opportunities for our region. Thank you for amusing me. I'm pleased to welcome Community Foundation Endowment Development Committee Chair and Board Member Jim MacArthur to provide an overview of the Heritage Club program and the difference it can make in our community.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Nikki. I'd like to start by thanking Connolly Sherwick and Calvin McPhail for their generous and ongoing support for the Heritage Club reception that you're enjoying this evening. And they've been behind this for a while now. So could you please join me in a round of applause for Connolly? And Connolly, we're going to be driving home the same point. A few short years ago, the Community Foundation consulted with local financial advisors on a new program that would allow donors to choose their own financial advisor to manage their contribution within the total endowment fund. It was well received and is now known as the Advisor Managed Endowment Fund, just as Connolly had mentioned. Currently, the majority of our endowment is held with Leith Wheeler, an investment counsel company in Calgary. However, McPhail Sherwick Wealth Advisory Group were the first to establish an advisor-managed endowment fund, and that they now manage a good portion of the investments for our donors, in addition to Leith Wheeler. And I do think that this demonstrates that there is plenty of professional talent right here in Medicine Hat when it comes to financial management. The program involves a three-party agreement between the donor, the financial advisor, and the foundation. So if you'd like to learn more about this, please contact Nikki or myself anytime, including this evening. Heritage Club membership belongs to those who have included the Community Foundation in their future plans with a gift through a bequest, life insurance, a trust arrangement, gift of securities, or other assets. And as Heritage Club members, you have made a conscious decision to build today for a better tomorrow, and you deserve to be recognized and honored for your foresight and planning. And I think you'll be interested in this statistic. Since inception of the foundation, approximately $10.7 million has been gifted through bequests, bringing our endowment fund up to its current level of $25 million, which is a big number by anyone's standards. And it's due to your foresight that together we have distributed almost $10 million back to organizations who are doing an incredible amount of work across Southeast Alberta. As chair of the Endowment Committee, I want to thank you on behalf of the Community Foundation for standing as an example for the way, for this manner of giving. It's a way of giving. No doubt explaining to others how the foundation works and encouraging them to be generous. Nothing influences friends and relatives like friends and relatives. And so I want to thank you for being a champion of the foundation, and it's very much appreciated. So tonight, we honor posthumous, new, and existing members of the Heritage Club, and sincerely thank all of you for your support of the work that the Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta is doing across our region. And now I would like to introduce Mike Ansell, who I describe as someone in the volunteer sector who is a heavy lifter. Mike has served as the chair of the board for many years. He's an honorary board member, current member of the Endowment Committee, which I'm thankful for, a donor, and a Heritage Club member, and many other assignments that he's taken on in the volunteer world around Medicine Hat. So please join me in welcoming Mike to speak on the benefits of being a Heritage Club member. Mike Ansell.
Geez, I'm not sure who Jim's talking about. I'd like to meet that guy. As mentioned, my name is Michael Ansell, and I had the great honor and privilege to be on the Community Foundation board for 7 years, 5 of those as board chair. I realized very quickly in my first year that the board had great passion and the staff had great passion for the foundation. It became very, I don't have my glass with me, it's a little darker up here than I thought. I just turned 64 and I don't like to bring my glasses. So at some point I'll have to get used to that. It became very contagious and everybody worked diligently to improve the Community Foundation. Everyone understood the importance of growing the endowment so that we could better assist the communities that we serve. The larger the endowment, the more money we were able to distribute to our communities and their greatest needs. When I first joined the board in 2014, our endowment was at $9,537,063. In 2021, our endowment grew to $23,700,611. That's an absolutely incredible growth in 7 years. And it really wasn't because of the work of the board. It had everything to do with people just like you that decided to contribute and make a difference to their community while they were alive and even while you passed away. In my opinion, the Community Foundation is the best agency for this to happen. The principal donation is never spent, only the interest generated from that endowment is distributed. Basically, the foundation could continue to assist our communities that we serve forever. What an amazing legacy you could leave to your community. I always felt that if we're successful in the community, we should give back to that community. It's important to give to your community. Being a Heritage Club member gives you the opportunity to do just that. I'd like to ask all Heritage Club members to please stand and be recognized. And thank you for making a lasting impact on the community, on your community. If you're not a Heritage Club member, I would encourage you to talk to Nikki and her staff about becoming a Heritage Club member. You could help be the difference that your community really needs for years and years to come. One of the slogans of the Community Foundation is "Give where you live." To me, that says it all. Thank you for all the Heritage Club members, and thank you to anybody considering joining. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. So we're going to move on with a few of the impact speakers that we invited to present this evening. We believe it's important that our donors are aware of the impact that they're having on the communities that they live. So our first impact speaker is our passionate leader of our community's one-of-a-kind senior citizens recreation facility. Established in 1973, the Viner Center was designed to be a multi-purpose social service and cultural drop-in and information facility for residents over the age of 50. In 2022, the Viner Center, also known as the Kirby Assembly, received a grant in the amount of $12,090 to launch their elder abuse case management program. Here to speak about the impacts Community Foundation donors have had on the Viner Center is Executive Director Corey Fisher.
Thank you so much for inviting us to share this impact story. We were very, very grateful to receive the funding from the Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta. It's expected that over 1,300 individuals in Medicine Hat experience some sort of elder abuse over the course of their lifetime. That number is estimated to grow as more individuals come of age. As a result of this grant, and the Elder Abuse Case Management Program, we received 25 elder abuse related inquiries between January and June of 2023 alone. This means that many individuals experiencing elder abuse are being missed, and it became very essential for us to look at how do we spread the word and bring awareness of elder abuse, and is there a way we can potentially prevent it or reduce it. We started the Senior Safety Series, and that's where I'd like to focus our attention and the impact we've had with that this evening. Our Senior Safety Series was brought about to bring awareness of elder abuse, as well as bring awareness of all the amazing resources we have in Medicine Hat available to individuals experiencing elder abuse, so they feel safer to reach out for help and support. Our goal is to provide them information about elder abuse, but also introduce them in person to the resources available in our community. Each presentation invites several partners within the community to present, and there is a very important reason for that. We know that in our elder abuse case management program, we gain awareness of elder abuse prevention strategies, so those become the topics that we choose on a monthly basis. Our Senior Safety Series runs the third Thursday of each month at the Viner Center. A safe environment. No one knows why you're coming in to the Viner Center, whether it's to attend a Senior Safety Series or to play a game of cards. We know that by maintaining and providing the opportunity to regain independence, we can reduce the likelihood of elder abuse. And so each individual who attends the Senior Safety Series has that opportunity. In each session, we gratefully acknowledge the grants and the community support making these sessions possible. We include our community partners and our resources because we appreciate how eager they are to share their expertise and the opportunity for the participants who are attending these series to meet someone face to face, establish a rapport, establish a trust, and feel comfortable going to that person in the future. Each of our partners often return for subsequent speaking engagements because they are enjoying the time and the opportunity to meet people face to face. We're building that trust and rapport and hoping that as a result of that, we can increase our mutual referral process. We're working very hard to work with our partners to create an age-friendly, vibrant, healthy, and caring community while raising awareness of elder abuse. In the last 5 sessions, some of our partners have included Alberta Health Services Addictions and Mental Health, Alberta Health Services Home Care Nursing Team talking about medication and self-managed care. Alberta Motor Association came in with some safe driving tips for our seniors. Canadian Mental Health Association to focus on their mental health as well as become aware of the Keep in Touch program. The Medicine Hat Police Service, Victim Services, and even Athena, the canine service dog, came and joined us for a day. The Medicine Hat Public Library, the City of Medicine Hat for the Fair Entry program for our low-income seniors, the Women's Shelter. In total, we have completed 5 of the Senior Safety Series. To date, we've had a total of 166 participants attend that, with over 22 community partners coming in to present. Referrals from community partners have increased as a result of us inviting them in for the Senior Safety Series, and we're actually getting more calls regarding elder abuse so that we can intercede and intervene. Right now, during those Senior Safety Series, we are offering hard copy information kits with the presentations, handouts of the relevant topics, and encouraging our participants to share that info with their friends, family, and their neighbors to increase the awareness beyond the 166. We've been giving out door prizes that include the Staying Safe booklet, as well as dinner tickets so they can join us for lunch at the Viner Center. As well, we are providing free memberships at the Viner Center to some of our low-income seniors to provide them with an opportunity to increase their socialization and decrease their social isolation. Our participants that have been attending have been inquiring about volunteer opportunities, and some have even joined us at the Viner Center as new volunteers. They are seizing the opportunities to connect with our speakers one-on-one, to arrange off-site visits, consultations to get quick answers or secure referrals to the appropriate agencies. They are feeling safe enough to ask very difficult questions in these sessions. They're engaging in discussion as they feel safe with the people beside them. And then they have an opportunity to stay for lunch and socialize. And they're connecting and reconnecting to the Viner and Strathcona Center. In response to some of our questionnaires, many participants noted that they have improved their network of community supports and feel more confident in reaching out to other people. They feel encouraged by the Viner Center and all of the programs and resources that exist in our community, and they know where to get help to stay safe after attending our program. One of our seniors attended on May 18th our Aging in the Right Place with Community Supports and began planning home safety, home support services, and had a court order to have an alleged abusive family member removed from their home. Following our June 15th World Elder Abuse Awareness presentation, this senior attended the courthouse and was granted an order for the family member to be escorted out by police services. The senior continues to engage in community supports to ensure her future is safe and secure, but has not been a victim of elder abuse since. Another participant returns for each session to informally connect with our personnel who help her apply her new learnings. She feels grounded and confident knowing she has a team supporting her as she works through resolving her emotional abuse strategies. Following resolution of financial and emotional abuse, one of our clients conveyed an interest in nutrition, recreation, and socialization. Having been isolated from friends and community for the past several months, our client believed the ability to speak up had been lost to her forever. Since finances were a huge challenge, a complimentary membership was provided to her and brought a smile to her face, a spring to her step, and a little jig in the lobby. A moment was needed to process the happy emotions and wipe away the tears. These grants make a huge, huge impact on our community, and it brings me great joy to be able to share some of the wonderful things that it has accomplished for individuals who are dealing with elder abuse. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Corey. Out of all of the grants that we give out, it's not very often that we get to hear the impact stories from our grant recipients, so thank you so much for sharing. Our entire region is blessed with many cultural programs and activities where we can express and immerse ourselves in creativity, heritage, and learning. The Historic Clay District played a pivotal role in recognizing Medicine Hat's earliest and most successful industries in the late 1800s, and when it reached a level of unprecedented activity in 1907. Fast forward over 100 years, and we now have an innovative museum hub that holds history of Medicine Hat's industrial boom, which is now known as Medalta in the Historic Clay District. Please join me in welcoming Mike Onu, Executive Director of Medalta, to speak on the impact Community Foundation grants have had over the years.
Okay, hi, I'm Mike. Let me get the caveats out of the way first. I'm loud, I'm not good at following my notes. Although I did make some, and I'm recovering from COVID. For the record, I'm testing negative, but it's don't get it if you can avoid it. Very hard act to follow, Corey and Nikki. You kind of covered all the history that I meant to cover, so you've left me with very little. Friends, members of the Heritage Club, future members of the Heritage Club, thank you for being here tonight. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk briefly about, mainly not about Medalta, mainly about our community foundation and the positive impact it has had on Medalta. Little bit of context about us though. We are a registered charity. Medalta's mission is to preserve and perpetuate the history of the heritage clay industries in our community. And we do that by operating the National Historic Clay District. We're often known as a museum, and we definitely are that, but we do a lot more than that. There's often a perception that we are owned by the city, and that's kind of true and kind of not true. Our main site is property that is owned by the City of Medicine Hat, and they give us some funding, which we appreciate, but we're definitely an independent charity. So we do our work by preserving and protecting mainly the factories and equipment that were part of the boom in Medicine Hat. And while there is some disagreement about the exact number, I'm comfortable saying that there was a point in our early 1900s where not less than 1 in every 5 people locally was involved in the clay industry. So it's really unique and special in Canada, and we're very proud of our ability to preserve that heritage. We really, I think I'm safe in saying that we are the top tourism attraction in Medicine Hat, although there are a great number of things that are available in this community. So we're serving multiple purposes. We are preserving heritage. We're a museum. We're heavily involved in tourism, but we're doing other things as well. As a museum, and this may shock some people, that's probably the least of what Medalta does. Everything that we do is museum. Anyone coming to visit the old factories, to walk through the museum, that's the museum experience, but we're trying to be a lot more than that. We're really here to tell the story of a community and of a province and what that development looked like at a certain period in time. But we're also looking forward. So within that context of being industrial heritage, we strive very hard to be a good partner in the community and to make things happen in the community that make it a better place to live. So that is why we put on events. Almost everything we do involves clay, but not exclusively. I'm a big fan of music, and most of my team are music fans. So we're always very interested, we love the guitar, we're always very interested in having exciting, fun events for the community to participate in. Everything from markets to Croc Stock, which we held last year. And we also host a lot of activities. We, with the exception of the executive director, we're a very photogenic organization, and there's never an end to the number of people that would like to get married in our scenic backdrops or just come by to just take in that culture and the beautiful infrastructure that we have. Not everyone knows this, but many people do. We attract people from all over the world to our Medalta International Artist in Residence program. And they pay for it, and we subsidize it as well. But we get some of the world's best contemporary ceramic artists, and they'll stay with us for a week, a month, a year. We have a place for them to stay. The BMO Lodge is where we keep them. It's like a dormitory. In fact, if you're familiar, it used to be IXL's headquarters down on the IXL plant. It's been fully converted into a dormitory. So we're very proud of the fact that we can attract people from all over the world. And I'll tell you, when people come here, they love this city and they love this community and they're always impressed. Many people come through here and they don't know what Medicine Hat is all about. And anyone who spends a day or a week here, they fall in love with this community. And some of them do move here. I'm actually one of those people myself. So we run that contemporary ceramics program, which is quite exciting. And the spin-off of that, if you've ever been to Medalta for pottery classes or for date night pottery classes, your instructor was probably from some part of the globe, and they were probably at Medalta doing a residency. So it's kind of a neat thing. We also do a lot of education. So we partner with all of our local school districts and some homeschooling programs, and we bring in hundreds of kids every year. And what we try to do is work with their teachers to build on their existing curriculum, which is largely classroom-based, and get them out and get their hands dirty and get them outside, get them walking through old factories, see how simple machines work, play with clay, although it's not really a play program, it's really supposed to be education-based. So we're very pleased that we're able to serve our community youth. And you know, it gets pretty dusty there and sometimes it gets dry. And I'll tell you, the vibrancy that having youth in the facility brings to the organization is phenomenal. So that's really all the things that Medalta does. Primarily, we do industrial heritage, art, culture, education, and a never-ending requirement, a very expensive requirement at that, to maintain this heritage infrastructure. And that's why we love our community foundation. So I know what you're thinking. Of course, you're a charity, Mike, and of course you love a community foundation that's providing funding to you. And that's absolutely true, of course, but that's not the whole story. At a basic level, yes, we have gratefully received support from our community foundation multiple times over multiple years. For example, this year, our community foundation helped us obtain a recovery funding, which had, it's almost an indescribable positive impact on Medalta. I don't know how we look from the outside, but I can tell you that behind the curtain, we are decades behind in terms of information technology. Our computers have a lifespan of 7 years, and most of them were 13 years old or more. In an increasingly virtual world, we weren't able to hold virtual board meetings, except for me doing it on my iPad. So this year, being able to recapitalize computers, as dull as that sounds, has just an astonishing impact on our organization. It's not just about having our staff be able to work better, and it's not just about our board governance function being accomplished remotely. A lot of the programming that we strive to do needs to become digital, and we now have the capacity to do that. And so, very practical example of why our community foundation is so important to us. This year, we also received support from CIFC to, I'm sorry that my examples sound boring. They're very exciting to me, and they're very exciting to Medalta. Flooring. So if you're familiar with our iconic beehive kilns, they look nice, people love to go through them, but they're also designated provincial artifacts. And so we always have this challenge between wanting people to come in, wanting to get inside the beehive kilns, sharing that history, and that sort of conflicts with the fact that every time someone walks in, they do damage. Every time you spill food on the floor, it gets down into the cracks, and then eventually an engineer or an archaeologist from the province will come down, and we're desperately trying to keep them open. All that to say, being able to protect the floor is actually what allows us to let everybody into the beehive kilns. It also helps us earn our own keep because we use those beehive kilns to host events. And sometimes we can earn a little bit of revenue off those events. So it's another way that our community foundation helps us. So those are the practical examples, and we do absolutely appreciate the direct support that we've enjoyed. But I want to say a little bit more about our community foundation. This is a helpful, very proactive organization. What I personally love about our community foundation, they are efficient with my time. So even though we're a charity, and even though we always seek funding, I have a personal rule, and that's I only work with people and organizations that are good to work with. Now, if any of you are in the service industry, you can appreciate that having difficult customers can occupy so much of your time. And so we just set a standard for ourselves where we collaborate and work with and communicate with people who are good to work with. And that means they're competent, they're professional, they're efficient. And our community foundation is at the top of that list for me. They're a great partner to work with. And so that's why we apply for a lot of things. And of course, we apply frequently to our community foundation. We don't always get everything that we ask for. And that's perfectly okay, because I know, and I have every confidence that the decisions our community foundation makes are fair, they're equitable, and I know that they're allocating their resources in support of the overall wellness of our community. And sometimes that involves Medalta, other times it doesn't, but I see the good that they do. And it's very much appreciated. So if, as a beneficiary, I'm okay with that, I hope it gives donors the confidence and trust to invest in our community foundation. I believe they are absolutely the finest and most capable stewards of resources. Finally, I'll say one thing about the Heritage Club. What an incredible construct it is. We have a very small team of people. We only recently hired a fund development manager, and our ability to accept complex donations is incredibly limited. If you come in the front door of Medalta and offer us $20, we can process your transaction. If we're getting into complicated estates and bequests, we really aren't well set up to accommodate that. And you never want to be in the position of not being able to receive support that people want to give. This is an incredibly valuable function that CIFC Community Foundation, I call it CIFC. Nikki, I don't know. Where's Nikki? I don't know if that's the acronym that you use. So let's just go with Community Foundation. This, being able to facilitate that is incredibly valuable. And I know that there are some charities who are big enough and have a fund development system in place that can accommodate all donor needs. But I know that there are more that can't. And that for Medalta is a big benefit of our Community Foundation. I know that I can go to Nikki and get help with that kind of thing. In turn, that allows us to really focus our resources on our mission and less on the administration, which is valuable to us. So we're immensely appreciative of our Community Foundation, and in turn, incredibly appreciative of the support of a very generous and caring community. Thank you.
I think he was talking about our community foundation. Thanks, Mike. Kind words. I had the pleasure of experiencing my first pottery class on the weekends for a Saturday sampler. If you haven't gone, it is amazing. It's so much fun. It's way harder than it looks, but it is exactly one of those things that the Medalta does that not everybody knows about. I am pleased to welcome donor, Heritage Club member, and Community Foundation ambassador, David Panabaker, to the stage to share with us why he and his wife, Debbie, choose the Community Foundation as one of their many event avenues to support our region. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you to the Community Foundation staff and volunteers for the wonderful afternoon. You've got the drapes drawn, but the reality is you're picking all my golf dates in the future because it was a beautiful day. When Nikki asked me to say a few words about why Deb and I chose to use the Community Foundation as one of the ways in which we support the local community, I hummed and hawed. Who wants to get up here and talk? But eventually said sure, because the answer was simple. My dad told me to. But to be truthful to my Rotary ideals, I should say I'm simply following in my dad's example. My dad passed away this spring. And for many years, beyond his church and his alma mater, the Community Foundation of Kitchener-Waterloo, which was later named for the region, was one of my parents' principal charities of choice. He was a member of the CF board from 84 to 94. He was a president of that board, and he was chair of the Foundation Council in 1999 through 2003. When I was working at the City of Medicine Hat, my focus within the community was too narrow. Industry, developers, contractors, and customers, to lead to any meaningful understanding of the broader community's needs. My belief is that my parents saw the extended wisdom of the community across many careers, experiences, tax brackets, perspectives, and the global spectrum, the political spectrum, as the best way to know where the funds would do the most good. Deb and I don't see it any differently. We love the idea that the funds are sustainable, that the work is done and is vetted by a qualified local team, and that the money stays in the local area. The legacy is not particularly ours, but is melded in with others in the community for the benefit of those who need it, now and in the future. Those community priorities may change over time, but the funds will be there to use as a new group sees fit. Unfortunately, the need for support within the community and for having an at-risk population does not seem likely to disappear anytime soon. So that longevity is one of the qualities we value. And what we can do alone is minimal. But what we can do as a community group is magnified beyond that individual proportion. We have significantly more impact as a group, and that's why we contribute. Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. Let's give a round of applause for the Esplanade staff. Thank you. And a round of applause for Mr. Rob Hudick. And for yourselves. Thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it. And that's all I have. I'm not going to keep you. We can stay and mingle for a little while tonight till 6:30 or so. And Nikki has a video for us.
How do you make a difference in someone's life within a single moment? Do you use your talents and abilities? Do you lend a helping hand? Or do you give somebody a meaningful but unexpected gift? What if you could repeat that moment again and again? At the Community Foundation, this is how we support and sustain strong communities across Southeast Alberta. When you make a donation through us, it is never spent. It is invested. The investment income then creates a continuous stream of funding for any charity of your choice. So long after you're gone, your donation will continue to give for generations to come. This is how we create a legacy. What will be yours? The Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta. Vibrant, healthy, caring communities. Today, tomorrow, forever.